Managed to get a discarded document 252, which appears to be a double-sided scanner that goes to PDF. So let's just have a quick look at the outside of it before I scrap it all down. Basically, rulers, paper feed in this area, and then there's clearly imaging section. So it should be interesting to see what it is inside here. It should basically be a fairly simple scanner, like an ordinary scanner, ordinary flatbed scanner, but instead of moving the head, the scanning device over the paper, this will basically be moving the paper over the scanning device at a fixed speed. Similarly, clearly a little micro switch there, which basically means you can tell if it's open. Let me see what else we can see here. Some rollers, a flat piece, that white for there, just to match up. It appears this has its own screws, so this head opens separately. This has its screws here and here, so that opens up and comes out like that. Let's see if you can see anything on the bottom beforehand. 2 buttons, 2 clicks, little number, 8-digit LED display, single 8-digit LED display. Haven't seen one of those in the longest while. Simple LED, one of those old-time LEDs. So that's going to be low power, a couple milliamps at most. Right, these little stupid little, I don't know, brushes, whatever it is, that I don't know, brush water off the paper, but they always seem to do that. Nice, good rubber rollers, fairly good grip on them, so not too bad. The bottom of the device has the number, basically model number, serial number, 24 volts, 1.5 amps. I have the power supply for it. I'm going to use that probably for some other projects. 24 volts tends to be a useful voltage at times. Nice switch, nice plug-in which I can use then for that same 24 volts, and it does say 24 volts DC, so I'm pretty sure it's DC coming out. Always useful to know. Yeah, that's about all we can see from the outside. So let's have a dig into it and see what we get. Again, what we have is one of these nice rack and pinion systems where it's the paper feed. You push one side, and as you push, basically one goes this way, next one goes this way and closes in. So it's a nice little system, might be useful for something in the future. Then we have our rollers here. This comes off with one here, one screw there and there, and then this was the eject button, which basically is just a mechanism in the back. Nice little couple screws again. So probably by the time I finish strip all this stuff, I'm not gonna be short on screws, that's for sure. And again, this presses this mechanism here, which as you can see moves that little hook that keeps this locked in here. So all nice mechanisms. I'm in. Just need to figure out now how to get further in. Check out some more. A bit of gears on this side here. Very well lubricated, not too bad. So let me see what size motor they have in this. Maybe an interesting enough motor. 24 volts is an interesting voltage, high enough actually to give you a fairly powerful motor. Then there's an next set of gears here, and this again now is actually probably pretty nice gears that they probably use in those 3D printers. So belt, toothed gear. So definitely no slip allowed here, right? To make sure that you get exactly to it. So I'm expecting that this is probably a stepper motor in here. I'll have a look into that. So it's just a matter now of figuring out how to go to the next step, but it shouldn't be too bad. Looking on this side, they have one of these decoupling what you call it, ferrites. Some wires going in onto this hinge. Again, the best way is obviously to send the wires through the hinge so they don't break. So there's wires on this hinge and wires on this hinge. Quite a lot of wires, as you can see. So yeah, I guess I don't know, a lot of processing probably inside of here. I suspect the processing's here, and those wires are going out to motors and other things below. But we'll see. Maybe the processing isn't here, but then again the sensor is definitely here. So the question is, let's see. Maybe it's one way, maybe it's another. Let's get a little further in and see what we can do. Well, it turns out that the actual processing seems to be at the base, and there's a double-sided scanner. I forgot that, so that explains why all those wires went up on the top. First thought was that was actually where the processor was, but it turns out no, it isn't. So a couple jacks that I unplug, a ground wire, shielding, a couple jacks on this side, and then there's a run through again a decoupling ferrite. So let's have a look on the bottom here and see this out where this is. Alright. Wow, quite a very big board inside here. So some significant processing there. But then again, if this thing is scanning and converting straight to a PDF, you know, I mean, there's probably a bit of work involved. Does seem, let me see if I can get this ribbon out of the way. It's kind of annoying now. There we go. Right, and this Oasis chip is pretty much the same, two of them. So what this thing is doing is basically one most likely is processing for one side and the other one's processing for the other side. Interesting, which means that they parallel everything. That looks like RAM and similar RAM. Two of these, whatever those are, and two of those, whatever that is. But one for one chip, one for the other. I'm seeing one clocking chip, one crystal here, another here. That crystal appears to be for this chip. This, based upon its location, is most likely the interface for the USB. So this is a USB connection, main processing, I assume, RAM. Again, not sure what these are. What else we can tell? Possibly some kind of CMOS for boot up. Looks like that, dodgily like that. This was where the motor was connected, so this is most likely the stepper motor driver. What else do we have? Again, not that much. I can easily pick a couple coils, and heat shrink, some possibly power regulator. If you look at it, you're seeing the number of pins here. I suggest it's a power regulator, and it probably does, maybe it does a 5 volt 3.3 12 volt rail, because again 24 volts DC in. One would have thought it would have been closer, but maybe, you know, this is what we do in power regulation. I suspect, time permitting, I'll probably dig into that chip number and see what comes up. Again, just headers for the scanning. Interesting, not bad. Clearly a usable switch, easy to get out. You just have to clip those and push it out, easy to pull out. Well, not much else to be said about this board at this point in time. Not too sure. Oh no, that's a reset. That actually is a little switch. Not a reset, actually a switch. So there's a little micro, well, not micro, but mini switch inside it too. Couple resistors. Strange to see, you know, resistors, but again, it may just be with the power that they have here, because it's a relatively big, looks like a diode, and resistors. Yeah. Anything else of interest? Nope. That's about it. Gotten in, we've split the two halves. We have this, and this scanning mechanism here might have some interesting things in it. Who knows? We'll get a little bit into that and see what we got. The stepper motor, as we expected, and it appears to have one nice set of gears here, and again some sort of toothed belt, and then another set on the other side. A bit dodgily done because it doesn't completely line up, but these are all metal gears. Yeah. Somebody took a bit of time doing this. I don't really understand why. This is metal, this is plastic, the rest is metal. Well, obviously this is a plastic space as a tensioner, so that's fine. But why is this one plastic? Anyway, so we'll get a little bit into that. Probably leave the stepper on. I'm not sure it's worth taking it off until I have a use for it. Get some nameplate information, maybe, I don't know. Doesn't seem to have any, so maybe we take it off to see if there's a nameplate information on the fourth side. May or may not have. The driver, we know where that is on the board. So yeah, let's take this mechanism off and then let's scrap this. So I'm going to go for this first and then come back to that. Looking at the cover on the top, they've done some pink and green buttons, but it's all painted on the other side, so it was all grey as we expected. The digital display and the buttons and the dumb LED. And this thing actually has some good information on the mold. So it's ABS, we know that now. We also know that's made in 2004. Explains why this is being discarded. 2004, maybe it was a brilliant idea to have something that you put in the paper in, press it, and it double-sided scan and turns to PDF. Today, maybe not so much. So to get a little bit into the mechanism here now, let's see what we got. Just got to note, I thought it was only me that did touchy stuff like this when I have a loose part, but apparently big companies do it too. Xerox just put a little piece of foam in here to keep that from moving and falling out. Sort of thing I would do. A little further, it becomes obvious that this and that is pretty much the same thing, and that makes sense. I mean, it's top side and bottom side scanning, so this board here that goes into this is same as the board here, this that goes in here. This provides the light source. Looks like a really nice, I don't know, I would assume halogen type thing. I do not know what type of bulb or light source is used here, but I would assume it's some kind of high intensity halogen. Probably quite difficult to drive, because if we have a look at this, it's a bit of work involved in this, and that goes into some optical lens in there, and then it focuses. So we'll have a go inside there and see what goes on there. Again, this is very well done. You have brass inserts into the plastic. I mean, very well done. Again, similar board here to what you're seeing across there. So yeah, pretty much the same thing. So let's have a strip of this one, and that will pretty much cover what is across there, apart from the stepper motor, which we already dealt with. So let's just figure out how to get this out now. A bit more effort getting here, but just looking quickly, some power supply there, and that came through here, so I'll have a look into that. This is a simple board. There's a sensor here, optical. We'll switch it around. This is another optical sensor. Nice thick metal bar. I mean, I don't know why it's that thick, but it's nice thick channel there, so maybe it can be used for something. And a third optical sensor here. So essentially, if this is pressed here, it goes in. That's the first optical sensor there. The second one is this. Right, it goes in, and that tells the second thing, and the third one you can see it. Right, it's an optical sensor to determine that the paper is actually there. So yeah, I guess that is used to determine start and end of the paper. So not much. Let me just strip out the little screws in there, knock these out. This looks like a, I don't know, switch, position switch maybe. Let me see if I can take off the glue that they put on this and see if it's a position switch or a variable resistor. Actually it writes VR2, so maybe it's a variable resistor. That might be worth taking out. I have some little pet projects that could be useful for. So, and then let me take these out, strip this out, get rid of this, get to this. Now that I found the light, and it's flexible, so it's definitely not a phosphorus. It looks like probably some electroluminescent item, and somewhere in there, yanking, it's off of this power supply here. I've managed to pull the contact out of the side, so hopefully I haven't screwed it up completely. Maybe I can get this back in, and this light could be of some use. Seems interesting enough. So there's that, and there's a power supply fit, so yeah, we'll try that, we'll have a go at that. Having found the light, as I said, now I'm realizing that this actually is in fact the scanner part of it and not the light. So essentially there's some optics that make that image that is light and that image that size and bring it back down to something that focuses in this line, that length. So the scanner element is not the full length of the paper, but just this in fact is the scanner. So as I said, interesting. Makes a bit more sense now. So let's go on, let's have a look at the optics. top one end cap that was actually here, and we can clearly see two pieces of glass. And if we look at a little angle, we can clearly see these two mirrors. Actually, I'm seeing 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can look inside and you probably recognize the mirrors. And then there's the optical element in the middle there, and somehow this all bounces into that. So let me take off these mirrors and then have a look inside. There's much else I can do about it. After I knock off that end, these mirrors are going to fall off anyway, so let me just get them out. And this is the 3 mirrors that came out. One is actually stuck on this piece of plastic here, so it doesn't actually come off. And the only next thing is this optical element. Interesting. Seems to be a magnifying lens. So let me try to see if I can get it back of the camera and see if it helps. Can I? Magnifying? Maybe not. No, doesn't seem to be working. Next way. Nope. Okay. Well, no such luck. Anyway, there's this lens, proper method of holding it in inside screws. So you need something big to turn that out. Nice little lens there, and yeah, that's about it. That's about all she wrote here. Nothing else to really see in this. So yeah, let me just grab my little cables. I got some cables, so that always helps. A couple switches, very resistor, a nice little pack, and a light there. Another one will be on the other side, so if I get that to work, I'll probably try the other side and see how that works out. And if I get that light to work, I'll probably just, do a quick thing on that. But no, not too bad. Some little small shafts. Looks about 3 millimeters. Maybe it's 1/8. If it's exactly 1/8, great. Perfect for using for little things. A little bit too much grease on those things as it stands right now. I need to wipe those down. Grease is good for lubrication. Not so good when you have to pack things away.